Peace. Abrahadabra. This is Chakra Zulu coming to you live on an early morning. Yes, waking and baking, because this particular rundown is going to cover why, one of the main reasons why, this plant known as cannabis has been outlawed. Technically, what I got rolled up right now is hemp. What I did was I grew a little chronic plant, and I took the leaves off, and I ground them up. Same way you make hash. So this doesn't even have any psychoactive ingredients. I got some stuff for that. But, we all know about President Nixon and how he tried to frame cannabis and say that it was more lethal than cigarettes back in 1972. And then 2 years later, much to his dismay, he found out that that wasn't the case and that it was quite the opposite. He got so mad he threw the research in the trash because he couldn't line his pockets, with government funding, talking about a so-called war on drugs. But one of the biggest things that alarmed him and other, elitist officials, government agents, if you will, or whatever, is that cannabis causes what you call neurogenesis. Neurogenesis is simply a fancy name for brain cell growth. And if you know anything about the human brain, if you remember from your biology class, brain cells are the only cellular system that don't reproduce themselves. Every other cellular system in the body that dies off either naturally or however can eventually reproduce itself, just like your lungs. If you stop smoking, at least if you stop smoking, harmful tobacco, within 5 years, your lungs will fully regenerate to how they were before you started smoking. The thing with neurogenesis is that brain cells need that help in reproducing. The reason why they don't reproduce is because you have more brain cells than any other cell system, or all the cell systems combined for that matter. The average human baby is born with about 45 billion brain cells. That's quite a freaking lot for an infant. For a newborn infant, that's what you start off with. So when brain cells start to die, it's not that big of a deal. You're not in any diminished capacity or anything because you have so many brain cells to work with. But the thing about the cannabis is that it promotes brain cell growth, and of course the main function of the brain is to think. And what the elitists and what the agents can't have is people starting to become aware of stuff and being able to think for themselves, and not being able to be programmed and not being able to be kept on a certain level, because that's what this capitalist country is founded on. People not thinking for themselves, people just simply being told what to do, and they better accept it and they better like it. So when people start thinking for themselves and start having all these wonderful revelations about what all is wrong with this particular society, that's grounds for an uprising, which they simply can't have. So that's the bottom line. I'm out.